At Imvepi, I am called Koryang Martin Naburi, and I am Assistant Settlement Commandant, Imvepi. As you came in, as the team came in, it reminded me of a film I was watching those days called Coming to America. That is the way my elder brother, Mr. Taban, came in, because that's how the gentleman looks. And also I call him, I want to say I call him my brother because my late father, William Lorika Naburi, was a Minister of Information and Broadcasting. We have met before in Gaba. There is my brother Araba at Bunga Gaba. We have met there. I greeted you and we chatted then in the evenings. So we have met before. So it is such a pleasure that you're here today. This is Imvepi Refugee Settlement. We have about 73 refugees here. And weekly we are getting about 100 and something. There are so many, there are issues in Congo and issues in Sudan, so they are coming in and we are managing. My colleague, the Deputy Settlement Commandant, who is our Chief Security here, will be able to give you a bigger update. But all in all, we really appreciate the issue of nationality screening, which is entirely the task of security and our protection staff. They are the ones who are spearheading that. The settlement is peaceful because of the way the security teams have done it here. We know some of these people here are ex-combatants. Some of them sometimes get ideas, they want to go back and be active. But there is a way that we talk them down and we tell them, no, if you're here, be here, you're secure, wait until that time when you think you can go back. There is a lot of security surveillance here, which the officers do, which we are very much impressed. As a commandant's office, we are more of administration in the settlement. But when it comes to the technical bit now, that is when my senior, Mr. Dennis, comes in to make sure we can sleep, we can wake up, and our security is okay, and the refugees are happy completely. Otherwise, they are so happy, impressed with how Uganda has welcomed them. And besides, of course, the issue which is there now, the support has gone down. The support has gone down. UNHCR says there is no more money. There is little support to the refugees. They are desperate. But we are still calming them down. We are telling them, Allah, God will always help. There will always be a way out. You don't give up until that last day when your grave calls you. So we are telling them to be hopeful. The little support we are getting from the NGOs, from the partners, we are making sure we distribute it out to those who mostly need it. Because there are some who are able, and others are really doing very badly off. Otherwise, in life, there are things that are important. There is health, there is security. Me, I find those ones to be key things. If those ones are okay, then we can continue struggling with life. Otherwise, being here and you're from security agencies, I thank you so much. I know all this comes down from the top up to down, that people like Dennis are able to do their job very well. Work, job, things are being delivered and work is going well. We thank you so much for your continued support and you're most welcome once again.
To my supervisor, senior, the Deputy Director General in charge of this region, and the two other states which neighbors us. I'm Dennis Olila, the incoming Deputy Commandant. I'm about 12 days old in this station. And so far, I have a few things to highlight. I will concur with my senior, the Deputy Commandant, the representative of the Commandant, that Imvepi settlement camp is, I think, the third biggest. Bidi is leading, Rhino Camp follows, and then Imvepi follows in terms of numbers of refugees. In terms of area, it covers 95.8 square kilometers. These are combining 3 sub-counties, traditional sub-counties of Azapi, Lubani, and then Imvepi. At the moment, the settlement is reorganized into 43 villages, and then there are 4 zones. Zone 1, Zone 2 are mainly occupied by South Sudanese. because that is the biggest component of the refugees here, due to factor of civil war in Southern Sudan. The second category, who are occupying zone 3 and 4, are Congolese from mainly eastern part of Congo. There are groups from North Kivu, out of the conflict between AFC stroke M23 versus the FADC. And then the upper group are mainly from Ituri, which is the aspect of Codeco versus the FADC, the government forces. So those are the categorization of refugees. We have the main one. Then there are those third category who are from the main Sudan, especially in the area of Kordofan and Darfur. In Kordofan, it is the aspects of Janjaweed. It's the aspects of Janjaweed militias who are also trying to conflict with the government forces. Then the element of Darfur, that one is in between. No, this one down is not Janjaweed. These are almost civil strife, tribal elements. The upper part in Darfur is Janjaweed, who are challenging the leadership of General. This brief I'm going to print and Charity will take charge of it, so that you have the correct. The general who is in charge of Janjaweed is challenging a general who is representative of government. So that's how the conflict. I've traced through people we have screened. They are giving mainly civil strife as the major reason why they are running away from their states. And keenly we are following up on whether those combatants could sneak in and become part of the refugees. This is where our major concern is. Yes, we have identified some ex-combatants who are normally screened and details taken. One, to ensure there is no arms, no any military gadget is allowed while they are here with us as refugees or asylum seekers. That one we are always very clear on it. Then two, we also have people who are being brought here, especially on protection issues. Those who may have problems in other settlements, they can be relocated here. For example, we had issues between South Sudanese, between Nuer community and Dinka. So when there is that kind of problem, it is categorized as protection aspect. One group is taken away from here and relocated to another place to promote, actually to diffuse the tension of conflict. But here we have very few cases of that nature. If we have protection, people with protection cases, there may be about, there are not many. I'm yet to establish. We have challenges. The major one is the reduction in support to the partners, which I think is affecting the activity of all the partners, those who are being supported by those international aid. So here, since we have about 73,000, by yesterday it was 73,352 confirmed cases of refugees here. If the reduction is like, for example, last week, they distributed food instead of 73,000, they only covered this were about how many? About 22. Out of 73,000 refugees, only 22,000 were able to be, were being supported in terms of food aid. Of course, they are giving them the money. So now, the 50,000 have been deleted. 50,000 refugees did not get the support. So now, with this weather, with the daily need, we think this will instigate a lot of crime, including vandalizing some vital installations here. We have solar lights installed everywhere, but a number of them have been vandalized. And the motive of vandalizing is because they want to pick those solars and sell them in order to survive. So we're going to have those challenges. Then also there will be, we expect land wrangle to increase among the refugees. And those social programs may also escalate. Some refugees who are female might go into these antisocial activities, which is risky. It will be escalating problems instead of us mitigating it. Then on us, the administration, one of the challenges I have, which I can point out clearly, is with our sister force. We have 9 staff, including the OC, to manage the whole of these 92 square kilometers with 72,000 refugees, and then the number of host community are even more than that. So we have a manpower gap, which is straining the security team. Me, I'm alone. The OC has 9 people. We are supposed to manage this large community.
So that's manpower.
Manpower to the police especially, because we are going to handle civil crimes mainly. Other challenges will be like, as the number continues growing, we might also need to increase on the number of social services, the infrastructure, especially like schools. Maybe we increase the number of water points. And then recently there was relocation of groups to block 10. I'm very certain that it may need to open the road to access it. And maybe also to look at how to put other social infrastructure like schools and then extend the water there. So those are going to be the challenges which will be required to be addressed. The general crime here, it is still at a local level. The general crime here in this community, it is still at a local level, not advanced like in other urban centers. But I think in our security briefing and the assessment, we shall be looking at how do we put in place measures to address crime which might now migrate from being local into a more complex nature. That will be our main task with the intelligence from the police. Then we shall be forwarding to the strategic management for support. With that brief comment, I think that's what I have for Imvepi, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, just like he said, we are also still, we are not giving.
Plus your team, you're most welcome to Imvepi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Ismail Murikiriza. I'm an Assistant Protection Officer for Office of the Prime Minister in Imvepi Refugee Settlement. I closely work with my colleague, my senior, Dennis, the Deputy Settlement Commandant, and police, or all the security personnel in the settlement. To start from where they stopped, Imvepi is still a receiving settlement. We receive new arrivals, just as Martin said. On a daily basis, we receive around 150.
It's like a reception?
Yes, we have a reception somewhere there, yes. So we receive them from the collection centers at the borders, we bring them here, we carry out nationality screening, then we recommend those ones that are eligible for the refugee status, and those that are eligible for the asylum seeker status. So they are registered and then settled in the community, in those villages that Dennis has been mentioning about. However, most of them, as they come here, they are totally ignorant about the Ugandan laws. So what we do as OPM, we organize together with the police, Sometimes we invite RDC and DPC and other stakeholders. We go for community policing. We lecture them on how Ugandan laws are and what they mean. And we equally emphasize that Ugandan laws apply to everybody who is in Uganda. Whether you're a refugee or you're a non-refugee, they will treat you equally. Yes, so for the sake of the ex-combatants, my deputy talked about it. These ex-combatants are treated in a special way. Reason being, as we are saying, yes, we know most of them are given refugee status on a prima facie basis. But as they come, those that open up to us, we register them, we interview them, we get additional information, we attach on their files, and they are registered as asylum seekers. So they will be pending REC interviews. REC is the Refugee Eligibility Committee that is comprised of different stakeholders like immigration, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Office of the Prime Minister, the ESO. So they come around, then they re-interview this person. They bring in what we call the exclusion and the inclusion clauses to determine, does this person really suit to be a refugee in our country or should remain as an asylum seeker? They can even reject somebody's application for asylum. Yes. Then we have a challenge of the pendulum movements. You know, Uganda, we have settlements, unlike our sisters in Kenya that have camps. In settlements, you can freely move. Literally, the refugees that we have here are staying as Ugandans. The same rights we are enjoying as Ugandans are the same rights they are equally enjoying. Only that they can encroach on our daughters and wives this side, but we are not allowed to encroach the other side. If you do that, that is fair. So, this pendulum movement, you really see that it's affecting service delivery at times. Because you are registered here as a beneficiary, they have brought these items, but you are not around. I will talk, an example is the bicycles that we are seeing here. These bicycles are meant for the Refugee Welfare Committee members. Those are the leaders, refugee leaders. But they were distributed. These two remain. Why? They are not here in the settlement. Yes. So you really see that it's affecting service delivery in one way or the other. Then the porousness nature of our borders. Many of them enter Uganda through the porous borders. And it's very hard to identify, or rather to determine the total number of individuals, the correct total number of individuals who have crossed into the country. Because there are those ones that will go to designated areas, then we shall know 1,000 individuals have come. But how about the others that have entered through the porous borders, and you just see them at the reception centers as spontaneous arrivals? Others will just come, they join their relatives in the settlement, and they stay. They take their own time to come and register. So by the time they are coming, they will come to register as family reunion cases, not as new arrivals. So you really see that it's kind of hard to determine correctly this figure. Then this issue of food recategorization, I also just want to re-echo. It has really affected the populations, both the refugee community and the host community. Reason being, when the refugee community is so much oppressed, they keep on encroaching on items and commodities for the members of the host community. That is why you are seeing there is a rise in theft cases, apparently. There is a rise in child neglect because the parents and the caregivers have abandoned their children here to move to other places in seek for livelihood. Yes, of recent, we had a border monitoring at Busia border in Kuluba, whereby very many refugees have abandoned their settlements. They went and settled there involving themselves in activities of charcoal burning and also timber cutting from across, then they bring them this side. Actually, we resolved that those people should be evacuated from there. Last week, with the help of RDC, Koboko, Mr. Mitala Jimmy, and the security forces, these people were evacuated, though others are still there. Yes, so this recategorization issue, most of these people, most of the vulnerable people were wrongly categorized. You find that there is an old woman, an old man, or somebody who is crippled, but this person is in level 3. Yet this is the person who is supposed to be in level 1. You find somebody who is able-bodied like me, Ismail, I'm in level 1. And you really don't understand the dynamics that were used to see this. Actually, when you were distributing the last cycle, actually it was even the first cycle when this recategorization has started, we were all in panic because a lot of issues started erupting from the communities, saying we are going to cause chaos, we are going to grab this money from those people that are receiving, we are going to burn offices. So we were just here on tension with the police, the deputy. We were not sleeping, but luckily enough, we tried to talk to them, just as Martin said. We always involve ourselves, we talk to them, we calm them down by bringing the leaders on board and other stakeholders like the religious leaders and opinion leaders. Yes, and you really see that this calls for more vigilance and support from opium staff and police. And looking at the manpower at police is inadequate, as well as OPM. But we really fight so hard to see that we manage the situation. And now, if it comes to reducing the staff, it will totally affect the operation and service delivered. Yes. Thank you so much. I want to end here.
And a peaceful coexistence is one thing. That's why you don't hear refugees and host fighting. When the NGOs and partners came to support, it was ruled that whichever support which comes to the refugees, 50% goes here and 50 here. If you're coming and you want to take people to a school, 50 refugees, 50 host community. So all activities, all development, that is how we have also enforced being happy together. Yeah.
Maybe
we are saying these roads, the new places where we have settled the new refugees, the land that the landlords have given us, we are telling them we need roads there. We need to connect piped water to reach there. Because if a visitor comes home, don't make them to go and sleep in the kitchen. No, at least bring him to the room. Let him feel that he has been welcomed. So UNHCR has also promised. But we are telling them, please let us meet deadlines. We need piped water to reach there. All these other amenities to reach there. The roads, they should open up roads, the pit latrines, the piped water to reach those places. Already their surveyor has done most of that work. And we are very hopeful that that will be worked on. But of course, if something has not been worked on as yet, we as the people taking on our refugees, we cannot feel at peace. Yes, even if your child has not yet gone to school because school fees, even when you're in office looking for school fees, you're not comfortable because the child is still at home. So this is the feeling we have here, the team of OPM and the security at Imvepi. We are not yet at peace until we shall continue pushing and make sure these things come into existence. But simply in a nutshell, the fact of the matter is, police-wise, we are completely low on manpower. There are even sometimes when there are issues in the community, and you know, when you don't have much to eat, no much support, sometimes they become rowdy, and we sense that a situation is coming up. And then you move 5 policemen, 2 are guarding the station, you go there, you hear them talk saying, only those 5 guns, only those. So they also know these people have military plane. So we feel, sometimes you want to move in and calm down a situation, but you say, now what will happen? So you cannot really, but when you know you have a bigger force, then you know you're very proud. And the structure you have seen there, the white building, is the new police station. We were supported by European Union. So police station is here. The house behind this block, they are building a new police accommodation. So for us as Imvepi, we are saying, may God bless whoever has the powers and authority to add us more security here. Yes, because the zones are big. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4, 73 people, 1,000 people are many. Sometimes we hear there is a situation you go to try and cool, but people are outnumbering you. And you just reverse the car and go away. Because you don't want the windows to be smashed and so on. And they also know we have a small force here. Sometimes we don't attend to their situations because we don't have enough manpower. So they are aware. But we are very hopeful, and it is our prayer that God guides you, the authorities, that you look into this situation. So that work is easy for everyone. That one is a very big one. Manpower here is a challenge. Yes, sir.
In BDBD, it's the same problem we had like here. But there's something. Now there is shortage of food. What are you doing for the refugees to have food? Have you given them some part of lands to cultivate or what? Because in BDBD, they're teaching them already how to dig shambas. Now for you here, what do you do? Because there is shortage of food.
Yes. We here in the settlements in Western Uganda, that land is owned by government. So land is free. But here in Western Nile, we depend entirely on the goodwill of landlords to get land. Now, UNHCR has also been supporting these landlords as a way of enticing them to offer more land. Now, no more support to the landlords. The landlords are saying, tumepatia mingi, we have given enough. Now we are also not getting. Where are we benefiting? So they have also closed the door. So we are saying, please extend some support to landlords, some livelihood support. Then they can also be able to give more land. So that is the only situation here, that land doesn't belong to us. But we are still pushing and requesting. But even when they give kitu kidogo, just little land. Otherwise they would be giving so many. So we need support to be extended to the landlords here so that they can give more land for agriculture.
So that's why it's the same problem.
Yeah.
So we have been sent to hear problems, what's going around. We have had you. Now we have also to go back, make report and send it forward. But to thank also our president for the good support he's doing for our neighbors. To thank also DG for the support he's given us to reach here. We just thank you. Don't give up, fight for our country. Show our people that we are together and we shall protect them. Don't get tired, please. Tuungane tufanye kazi. For our neighbors, just continue fighting. Good things come slowly. Time will come. Let me just rush to Kampala, give this report. It's good we have the feeling. Big people, they just see the feeling. And they'll understand all what was said. And we shall try to, for police, I'll try to talk to the IGP to reinforce you people. And the office, these roads, who makes the roads?
Dr. Deep has been helping. We are very hopeful that we hear Dr. Deep next phase is coming maybe in about a month's time. We have had, and they are the ones who have been working on these roads. But ever since it closed, our roads are now impassable. But always we tender in the request for the roads, and Dr. Deep has always complied. So that is also one of our first items on the agenda. Settlements, what's the issue? Roads. Even this office general, it is Dr. Deep which made. We were just in containers which used to bring refugee clothes and so on. Now I can sit and have a flag of Uganda. I could not put a Ugandan flag in a container. It is embarrassing. Now I can sit here at the storm and at least I can and I feel of government. So we shall continue pushing with the doctor. Yes, General.
And I'm happy somebody from Koromodo
yes.
to lead here. This is great. This now shows Ugandans we are one people.
Exactly.
Which is also costing opium. UNHCR has instructed opium to reduce their staff by
123.
Yes, 123. But even right now as I'm talking, at a certain moment you feel the staffing is inadequate. So if we feel that, but we strain ourselves to see that we deliver what is required out of us. Now what will happen if they remove 128? It's a very big number. We have 2 community services here. If they remove one remains running around the entire settlement. It's a problem. Protection, here I'm needed at litigation desk. There is litigation, nationality screening in the community I'm needed. They are calling me in the court. Police is calling me. You really see that I cannot tear up myself as one person. Yes. So if this issue is a bit addressed, it would be a better thing.
Yeah, we have had you. The research there is going to make a report. We mix our reports. We take. And the result will come. We shall come back here again to tell you what has gone. But we just pray that everything goes well.
Inshallah.
We've been hearing about, because we've been hearing these challenges through reports, but also hearing it from you physically means a lot. And indeed, these challenges are registered. Day before yesterday, we were in MEDIA-Robsyiti. We picked the same concerns. The concerns really cut across. And it's a matter of concern. Because when you, in your statistics, you say 50,000 out of 73.
But they are also host community.
Yes. Because you are supposed to share the facilities together by regulation. So it's a cause of concern. And this will lead to heightened insecurity. Thuggery, and of course, they say hungry man is a angry man. So, we need, it's a cause for worry.
Yeah.
On our part, ours is funded to raise these issues. It reaches the National Security Council so that the intervention is taken seriously. At least the next financial year should be considered. But going forward, we have to maintain harmony. We need to work as a team. Let's not fragment in the heat of the moment. Because in the heat of the moment, it's easy to get disoriented. So let's maintain the team spirit as we forward the matters ahead. I think that is all I have to say. So at this juncture, I call upon our boss to deliver his remarks. Thank you very much.